Hey there and welcome to Plants vs. Germans. I'm back here at my parents' place at my old garden, and I am doing some garden work since I left and my brother is not doing a lot right now. I have to get the garden ready for the coming season. And I started off with, as you can see, the raised beds are mainly empty. We have some onions in here and some leeks from last year. I don't know if they are still any good, but I started getting out all the stuff that was in here, all the dead stuff. I had the eggplants in here, and I'm putting everything into a basket and bringing it away. And the same goes for this bed. Quite a bit of stuff that's just dead in here. And luckily my brother already started and he cleaned out the tomatoes. And it's going to be interesting because some of the tomatoes drop down, obviously, and as you can see, you have just some small tomato remainers in here, and they will sow themselves out next year too, but probably it's going to start around May or June because it's not going to be warm enough until then. The chickens are digging up the spot here, which they shouldn't do. That's why we put the fencing around there, but it tilted over. And unfortunately, the fencing broke here. So they've been climbing through here and just wrecked the whole place here. And we had a lot of horse manure here to compost it, and quite nice soil actually there. And we actually don't want the chickens in there because in between there, you might be able to see it. In the back there, it's hard to tell. We planted some garlic in there and the chickens have already turned over most of the soil, which is not good for the garlic. But that's just what can happen, right? Especially when you have chickens. They've been digging up the area here where we kept the tomatoes this year quite nicely too, and that's not too bad, right? Because we don't have anything in there right now except for some onion plants and the big one here that's been sitting there for almost 2 years now. And yeah, it's fine. They can just loosen up the soil a bit and maybe poop in there, right, to fertilize it too. So as you can see, not a lot of soil got used this year, so we might not even have to fill it up completely. This one looks a bit different. We probably have to put some soil in there. And we want to fill up these beds where my brother built an encasing for, just a border, so we can fill it nicely, and probably put our pumpkins and melons in there again. I think last year we had some melons in here, and we let them climb here on the fence, which was actually quite good, but it wasn't perfect, right? The temperatures and the rain wasn't perfect this year for the melons, especially for keeping them outside. But that's fine too. I still got to get the sunberry out here. I think it's a sunberry. It's also in the tomato family, but it has really nasty thorns on there, and I don't have any gloves on right now, so I'll definitely won't touch this plant. And it branched all the way out there, so that's something I have to do some other time, or get some gloves. Back here we have some raspberries coming out, and they've been taking over the whole area here. They're growing everywhere. They're growing through the raised bed here. Here are just some of the parts I cut off just a few minutes ago, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trimming everything down. Like I'll leave some here, and every new growth I'm just gonna cut down because it's spreading all over here, which is fine. Like this area, we don't really use it right now, but going over here, we have the blueberries here, and the raspberries are just growing in between the blueberries, so I cut everything down. Since the blueberries are doing decent, especially the plants, this one and this one, they've been doing fine, but the other ones have been struggling, and the raspberries are just putting unnecessary pressure on them. So better get rid of them now. We are already starting to fill up the raised beds here, since they lost a lot of soil, as you can see, like at least 40, 50, some even 50 centimeters of soil. And we have some onions in here and some leeks and this stuff. And this one is empty right now, this one is empty too, so we're going to start putting in some horse manure, obviously since we have the horses here. We're just going to use it. I know it's probably not going to turn over or turn into soil until we plant some stuff in there, so we're just going to put a layer of that in there, and the top layer is just going to be some soil or some worm compost, stuff like that, something that is a bit better for the plants than uncomposted horse manure. But we're just going to start here, and in this bed I'll probably put some in here on this side first and not over the onions yet. I might even wait with this bed. I don't want to hurt the onions since we have 2 rows here. I want to let them grow. The same goes with this, and this area is actually quite interesting. The soil looks completely different, super dark. And I remember I put regular garden soil in there, and I put more horse manure and stuff in here on this side, but this actually looks really nice, like really nice soil. Quite surprised. I think the chickens got in here too and dug up some stuff, and my brother cleared out this area, got the stuff in the back here, and I definitely need to throw that away. But that's looking quite nice. Well, I still got to fill it up, unfortunately, and might even mix it up, although I don't want to break the structure of the soil down too much. So most of the time we're just going to put stuff on there. So this has been just a quick update on the state of the farmer's garden in February, early February. We're starting to fix it up, especially now since I'm home for the weekend, and hopefully we'll be able to start soon with growing plants again. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.